Welcome back to Brighter Financial Future, aka BFF, to all my future millionaires and billionaires out there. Hopefully everyone's having a great Valentine's Day. If you're with someone, you guys can watch this video together, learn about finances, and if you're single, congratulations, you saved some money on this holiday season, which you can invest into yourself. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 cannabis ETFs you can invest in. You don't want to miss today's video, so stay tuned. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Any investment may involve risk, so make sure you do your own homework when investing in anything. One good thing about weed or cannabis ETFs is it gives you the opportunity to invest in multiple weed or cannabis companies at once without having to choose one individual one. In today's video, I'm going to highlight 5 ETFs that focuses on the cannabis industry. Up first is Advisory Shares Pure Cannabis ETF, ticker YOLO. YOLO. Now that is such a great ticker. I just feel like buying it just because of the ticker. Now, this ETF was created in April of 2019. It has an expense ratio of 0.75%. Now, YOLO seeks to provide long-term capital appreciation by investing in cannabis equity stocks. It holds stocks in both domestic and foreign companies. You get basically a blend of US and foreign companies when it comes to this ETF, but its primary focus are in the US and Canada. The ETF follows a blended strategy, investing in both value and growth stock with various market capitalization. Now, year to date, they're up 29.26%. In 2020, they had a return of 47.11%. Now they pay a quarterly dividend of 2.02%. So if you are a cannabis person or if you smoke weed, if you invest in this ETF, you can have that pay for your supply. I'm just saying. Or a latte, whatever you like. Now, it has net assets of 158 million. And let's go over some of their top holdings. Some of YOLO's top holdings include BlackRock, Village Farm, and Swap on Green Thumb Industries. Their top 7 holdings actually account for 78% of their total assets. The next ETF I want to look at is Amplify Sawyer Cannabis ETF, ticker CNBS. Now, this one was created in July of 2019. They have a similar expense ratio of 0.75%. Now, CNBS seeks to provide investors with exposure to the global cannabis industry. Over half of its assets are part of either the cultivation and retail or pharmaceuticals and biotechnology segments of the marijuana industry. Now, year to date, daily total return is 24.72%. It's a little lower than YOLO. Now, they do have a 2020 return of 31.6%. which is actually lower than YOLO as well. Now, they do provide a dividend at 0.58%. Now, this is lower as well, and they actually pay their dividend yearly currently. Now, they do have a smaller asset size, so their net assets are 26.12 million. And let's take a look at some of their top holdings. So CNBS top holdings include Grow Generation Corp, Canopy Growth Corp, Village Farms International Inc., and GW Pharmaceuticals, just to name a few of their top 10 holdings. Now, next up is the Cannabis ETF, ticker THCX. Now, this one was created in July 2019. They actually have a lower expense ratio at 0.70%. THCX aims to offer pure play exposure to the cannabis industry with roughly 29 stock. Now, they focus primarily on Canada listed companies with roughly a quarter of holdings representing cannabis stocks in the US market. Now, they're actually year to date is up 82.83%, so it's higher than the others. Now, in 2020, they had a return of 3.94%, so they're actually lower than YOLO and CNBS. This year they did better so far, but last year it didn't do as well as the other two. Now, this one also provides a dividend at 2.68%, which is higher than CNBS, and they provide a dividend yearly. So the dividend comes once a year. Now, they do have 91.59 million in net asset. Now, let's take a look at some of their holdings as well when it comes to THCX. So some of their top holdings include Tilray, Village Farm, Hydro Farms Holdings Group, and the Scott's Miracle Grow Co. as well. So those are some of their top holdings when it comes to THCX. Next company I want to talk about is ETF MG Alternative Harvest ETF, ticker MJ. Now this one was created in 2015. It has a expense ratio of 0.75%. Now MJ is the first and largest ETF in the marijuana space. So they're basically one of the granddaddies when it comes to ETFs in this particular space. As you can see, most of the other ones were created in 2019. Their year-to-date daily return is 71.88%, which is pretty high for this year. But on the downside, in 2020, they were actually negative 11%. So that's one of the downfalls of this one. But they do offer a quarterly dividend of 3.46% that you can reinvest into this ETF or use it for your own supply. Now, let's look at some of their top holdings. Some of MJ top holdings include Alphria, Tilray, Penelope Group, GW Pharmaceuticals, Kronos Group, Hexo Corp, just to name a couple of their top holdings. Now, this one right here, you'll probably can find a lot more data on if you want to do your own individual research. So you can get a lot of data when it comes to this particular ETF, and it's a more established ETF as well. Now, they actually have the largest net assets at 1.44 billion. Now, last but not least, let's take a look at the Global X Cannabis ETF, ticker POTX. Now, this one was created in 2019. They have the lowest expense ratio on this list at 0.50%. So one of the key features is they have a cheap expense ratio. Now, their year-to-date daily total return is higher than the other ETFs on this list at 105%. Now, on the downside, in 2020, they were negative 30%, something kind of be aware of. They do provide a dividend of 3.75%. Their net assets are 84 million. Now, their dividends are paid semi-annually, typically in January and July. Now, let's look at some of their top holdings. Includes Tilray, Aurora Cannabis, GW Pharmaceuticals, Corpus Pharmaceuticals, just to name some of their top holdings. Now, don't forget to like. So if you want to kind of get your feet wet when it comes to cannabis and weed stocks, these are a couple of ETFs that you might want to consider. And make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. It really helps the channel. Let me know what are some of your favorite weed ETFs. I appreciate everybody out there. Hopefully everybody having a great week and have a good one.